What nobody tells you about building a softer life is that sometimes it starts with realizing you cannot survive another winter the same way. And I don't just mean the weather, I mean emotionally, mentally, physically. Because for me, every winter started feeling heavier than the last. And somewhere along the way, I realized I wasn't just dreaming about France anymore. I was slowly trying to build my way out. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Christina Odiyo, and this is where I document the real and honest journey of building a life with more freedom, softness, travel, motherhood, and intentional living. And today I want to talk about something that has honestly been sitting deeply in my heart for a long time: the truth about building a softer life. Because online, people make it look aesthetic. Slow mornings, coffee, travel, cute outfits, peaceful routines. But what nobody tells you is how much courage it actually takes to choose softness in a world that rewards survival mode. I think for me, the desire for a softer life started during winter. Every single winter. And if you live in Canada, especially long enough, you probably understand what I mean. The darkness, the cold, the exhaustion, the constant rushing inside and outside, freezing temperatures. And over time, I noticed something happening to me emotionally. I was functioning, I was surviving, but I wasn't fully living. And that realization scared me. And before I continue, I really want to say this clearly. Canada is amazing. Canada truly is amazing. Canada gave me opportunities, safety, growth, stability. This country welcomed me and became home. So this is not a video criticizing Canada, because honestly, for many years, Canada was the greener grass for me. I've talked about that before, and I'm truly grateful for that. But I also think we need to normalize something. A place can be wonderful and still not align with the life you want forever. And for me, winter slowly became a turning point. Every year when winter came, I started imagining a different life, a life with more sunlight, more outdoor living, more slowness, more balance. And eventually those thoughts stopped feeling like fantasy. They started feeling necessary, because I realized I didn't just want escape, I wanted quality of life. And I think sometimes online people misunderstand the idea of a soft life. People think soft life means laziness or luxury or avoiding hard work, because that's the perception some influencers give us. But honestly, building a softer life has been one of the hardest things I've ever done emotionally, because softness requires intentional decisions. It means asking yourself uncomfortable questions like, what kind of life do I actually want? What environment helps me thrive? What am I willing to change? What am I willing to leave behind? And if I'm being honest, part of this journey started from exhaustion too. Running a cleaning business is not easy. Motherhood is crazy. Responsibilities, bills, winter, routine, and trying to hold everything together all the time. There were moments when I realized I had become so focused on surviving that I forgot what feeling deeply alive even looked like. And maybe some women watching this understand that feeling. You're doing everything you're supposed to do, but inside you feel drained. And maybe that's part of why France kept calling me back emotionally. Because years ago, I lived there. I lived in Vitre, I lived in Pau, I lived in Paris. And even though I left 17 years ago believing Canada was the better choice for that season of my life, something about France never fully left me. The lifestyle, the pace, the weather, the culture around enjoying life. And now that I'm older, guys, you can see my gray hair. When I first came, I didn't have gray hair. So I look at these things differently. What nobody tells you is this: building a softer life can require very hard decisions, because sometimes softness asks you to leave comfort zones, to rebuild, to start over, to disappoint people's expectations, to take risks. And honestly, that part is scary. I'm not saying I have a soft life right now. There are days I question myself, days I wonder, am I making the right choice? Am I romanticizing things? Am I crazy for wanting to start over again? To want to build a soft life. Changing your life sounds beautiful in theory, but in reality, it's paperwork, it's planning, it's visa applications, school decisions, financial pressure, fear, and trying to build a future while still functioning in your current reality. That's the part people don't always show online. Another thing I've learned is that a softer life is not necessarily about becoming rich. Of course, money helps, but softness is also about peace, time, presence for your children, environment, mental space, sunlight, freedom, emotional well-being. Sometimes softness simply means creating a life that no longer constantly drains you. And honestly, I think before I even started applying to move, part of me had already emotionally started leaving winter behind, for sure, for sure. Every year I found myself researching warmer places, watching travel videos, imagining slower mornings, outdoor life in winter instead of emotional survival mode. And eventually I realized this dream wasn't going away. It was becoming louder and louder. And maybe someone watching this has been feeling that too. Maybe not about France specifically, but maybe about your life. Maybe there is a quiet, healthier, more aligned version of life carrying you too. And maybe you've been ignoring it because it feels unrealistic or selfish or scary. But honestly, I think we deserve lives that fit us emotionally too, not just financially, not just socially, not just logically. And no, I don't think moving countries magically solves everything. Every place has problems. France has big problems too, but I do believe human beings should feel free to move toward better opportunities, better environments, and better quality of life when possible. I think immigration can be beautiful. I think starting over can be beautiful, and I think sometimes choosing yourself is beautiful too. So, what nobody tells you about building a softer life is that it often begins long before your circumstances change. It starts internally with honesty, with exhaustion, with dreaming differently, with admitting I want more than survival. And honestly, that realization alone can change everything. Thank you so much for being with me here today. And if you're also trying to build a softer, free, more intentional life, whatever that looks like for you, I hope you know you're not alone. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.